Oof, 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 oof. Ah, do enjoy a bit of mobility work. Right. I'm a wee bit far away today. Feels weird. Feels weird. That all right for everybody? You can hear me and you can see me all right. Something doesn't feel right. I feel like I'm... No. You know what it is? I moved some of the clutter from behind the camera and now it looks really bare. But now everything looks really far away. It's amazing. Anyway, right. Enough of the chit chat. Mobility overhaul a 101. Oof, we're into the three figures. Now I want you to get your foam roller. I want you to place it. We're going for the problem areas. Don't yawn. Do not turn up to this class and sit there and yawn when I'm doing an introduction. Do you know how off-putting and how rude that is? Some people, well, it's not some people, it's the same person, let's be honest. I don't mean to brand everybody else, it's the same person. Right, we're going for the problem areas today, the usual suspects, the ones that just always seem to be getting used and abused and continually need a bit of loving. Hitting off the ankles into the calves, everybody. You know the drill, I don't even need to tell you what to do. We're going to start, boom, right above the heel, and we're just going to work all that tissue all the way up to the knee, okay, all the way up to the knee joint. And as always, when you stop off in those areas of high pain and get stuck into them as soon as. We're not farting about, it's not a feel-good factor session. You're looking for areas of high pain. As soon as you find one, boom. If you can, get that other leg on top, keep the muscle tissue relaxed, and just simply smash it into that foam roller and get the job done. So we'll do a wee bit of this, that, and everything as we always do, but we're going for more of the bigger, more common ones that, like I say, most people will struggle with daily and need continual work. So the ankles, going in from the ankles up to the calves. You know all the drills, okay? Smash it down, scrub the hell out of it, trying to get as much weight and as much force down into that foam roller as you can on the problem areas. And you can move that foot around. Move that foot around, that's going to help just grind it all up even better, okay? Try to, like I say, you get out what you put in with this stuff, so don't hold back. Don't hold back. Get stuck into it. Get as much weight on there as you can. Let's make ourselves better. Pain, discomfort, a lot of it, but the kind we expect. We expect it at the point of contact of the foam roller. So we shouldn't be getting pain and discomfort elsewhere other than where we expect it. So be sensible. Go for it. Just get into it. Get all those problem areas. Maybe your whole area is feeling like a problem area, in which case just smash all the tissue. Working side to side against the grain, okay? Sure thing, go up and down like a rolling pin if you must, but that's not doing anywhere near as much effect as a side to side working against the grain. But get into it. Go for it, everybody. Focus on your breathing. And I'll go quiet now. And I'll tell you simply when we're going to change legs. I'll give you a heads up when we're close anyway. So a lot of us are going to find a lot of pain and discomfort in this area. If you are, get to work. What I was thinking we'll do on Thursday is do a boot camp special. How about that? Do a boot camp special mobility overhaul so that we can tag that on the main page and then no one's got an excuse. So every time we're at boot camp now, you always hear me going on about people's mobility. Don't you? Every boot camp, let's be honest, at the same people. But now I'm taking away one more excuse because I can always say, well, you know where to go. So we'll do a quick fire, all the common areas on Thursday for boot campers, which for you regular mobility attenders, it's basically going to be a lot of ankle work, a lot of groin work, a bit of stretching and flexibility, a little bit of work in the shoulders and chest, because that is where most people, when they're beginning exercise, it's where all the problem areas occur from and start to really affect their movement pattern. So that's what we'll do on Thursday. So it'll be a good wee one for everybody. But what we will do, we'll try and smash through it so it's a quick fire class, but it'll still be an hour. But I'll try and get the recording a good quick fire 20-minute one that I can pin to the page. And then we'll finish it off with us on live. Just doing a wee bit of this, that and everything for ourselves. Good, I'm going to give you one more minute, everybody. So we're getting quality time. We're getting enough time to get good bit of work done on as many problem areas as you can, going from the ankle up to the knee. So 1 more minute of just going for it. And to really make a difference, I hate to tell you, but you really have to be loading that weight up and really going for it. Good work, everyone. Just remember all your techniques, but keep it simple at the same time. Get as much weight on there. Grind and smash that muscle tissue to a pulp. And when you're able to, smash and floss by, in this instance, rotating and lifting and moving that foot around. Good. Right, relax there. As always, if you want to take a quick breather and a quick sip of water, feel free, but I'm just going to get into the other side, okay? So same again, we're spending a good chunk of time, good 4 to 5 minutes almost on each side. So starting off right down at the Achilles, side to side, side to side. A lot of us will find some right sharp, horrible pain down there. If you do, you know what to do. Get into it. Push it in. Get some extra weight on there by putting the leg on top if you're able to, if you can handle that, which is tough, because that leg will put a hell of a lot more force down. Introduce it slowly, little scrubs. Stay on the high pain area. Just try to work it. You can bridge up your bum off the floor to get even more weight on. But it's what you can manage. It's what you can remain relaxed with. Always finding that fine line between bearable and unbearable. And a good tip I always give when we're doing long bones, like this, just imagine your bones curving around the curvature of the foam roller. Okay, so that'll help you get more force, much more what we'd call shearing force. So it just helps grind things in a lot better. So as you're going side to side, if you're thinking about pushing down and that bone's starting to curve around the foam roller, it's starting to bend, you're going to get a lot more pressure down on it as you're doing your scrubbing, side to side, smashing, etc. Just always trying to get as much weight on there as you can. I've tried to give you enough time to be able to get quality time on the whole area below the knee. So don't rush, but then don't waste time on areas that don't need your attention so much. Good, 1 more minute, 1 more minute. Really get into it, really make the most of it. Good work, everybody. Just stay focused on the task at hand. Don't let the mind wander, don't be distracted. Get stuck into it. Get some goodness back into this muscle tissue. And at the same time, hopefully make a difference to it. Your mobility and your flexibility. So we're not just trying to maintain, we're trying to improve, but as always, to improve, we have to go through a bit of pain and discomfort. Oh, and in this instance, it couldn't be any more hit in your face. Good. Right, whack, done. Job done. Get your massage ball, please. Again, another common, familiar one that has its place daily. Get the ball, shove it right up there. Okay, get it right into that joint, right up the back, push it in, bend the leg until it's jammed up there. Simple. The foot firm on the floor, push. You're trying to sit your bum onto the heel. You probably won't get there. You might get there, depends on the size of your bum. But either way, you're trying to put a hell of a lot of force into that ball, okay? And you're going to feel a lot of pain and discomfort right at the top of that calf. Now feel free to, if it doesn't feel like there's much happening, try and move the ball ever so slightly to the left or right and you might find a better position. So play around with that one. But this one, there's no scrubbing, there's no nothing, it's just force. All out force. We're putting a hell of a lot of compression down into that muscle tissue right at the top of the calf, and I want you to try and increase. Take it further. You can play around by moving your knee forward and backwards. Maybe that'll give you a little bit of scrubbing in some way or other, but only if it's making it better, as in, you know what I mean by better in this instance. It doesn't mean easier or less painful. But with your knee, try not to let your knee start to cave in, okay? We're just simply trying to get that butt and sit it towards the heel. And we're not easing in and out. Do not ease in and out. Don't ease in and out. Every second, we're trying to put more and more compression force on there that you're able to, okay? And it's just a simple matter of pushing into that ball. Right high up into the muscle tissue of the calf. A lot of tightness. If there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of tightness, okay? There's a lot of jammed up muscle tissue up there. So if you're getting a lot of pain and tightness, that's a good place to start because it's just going to feed downwards. So it's benefit your ankle mobility even though we're not at the ankle. Does that make sense? Good. Also, if things are pretty damn sore, then you might be getting knee pain. You might just be getting knee pain, and it's always a good place to start working around the tissue around the knees and the tissue that connects in around the knees. So around the back of the knees, if there's a lot of tightness in this, it's going to be pulling on the knees, potentially limiting the range of motion on that knee, and as a result, putting a lot more stress on it. So as always, with mobility, flexibility, and potential injuries, if you've got a recurring injury that always seems to creep up or never seems to go away, it's not a case of, for example, I'm telling you that, you know, it might be this that's causing you knee pain. It might be the quads. Change legs when you're ready. You fix it, you improve your mobility. It's not a case of the pain just goes away all of a sudden in your knee. If your knee's damaged, it's going to take time to repair. So that's why for a lot of us, mobility needs to be a regular thing. And you'll find that over time, a lot of the niggles and pains do disappear. But I think a lot of people expect them to disappear instantly, and they're not going to. So for example, if you know you've got maybe tightness in the front of your chest, pulling that shoulder across, it's making your traps work a lot harder. They're activated all the time. Maybe you've started to cause a bit of wear and tear and stress on the joint of the shoulder itself. You start working on all the tissue around, starting to restore suppleness, range of movement to it all. That shoulder's going to take time to heal. So even though you've improved it, it might be a while before you actually feel the pain disappear completely. But my point is, don't just do mobility on it, foam roll once and expect it to be better, and then because it's not do it again. Take it further, push into it. Really try and go as far. This is a case of you are trying to take this to the point that you can handle. And any more and you'd be crying. Along those lines. So don't try to find that discomfort. What am I talking about? Don't try to find the comfort. Try to take this one as far as you can, just simply loading up as much force as you can into that muscle tissue. Good, fantastic. Ease out of that, and while we're on this, get the ball, we're going to smash out the quads. Okay, we're going to smash around the front of the knee joint. So we're spending a bit of wee time, oh my word, on the knees. You know the one, we're going to get the ball, we're going to put it out, we're going to cock out the leg to the side, okay? And then all I want you to do is just try and get in a comfortable position with your upper body, as in don't be like overextending your spine, putting yourself in an awkward place. And then all I'm doing on the inside of the knee is just starting with little scrubs. Look for that area of high pain that most of us are going to find in that area of the quads, okay? A lot of jammed up tissue here, runners especially, boom, get into it. As soon as you find that area of pain, find the source, find the spot that when you push on it feels like where it's worse. And same again, think back to the last one we just done. Compression force, push down into it, okay? Push down into it. And try and relax, and if it's that bad, it'll be hard to relax, it'll be hard to put all your weight into it. Once you feel right about now, you've got a decent bit of weight on there, start scrubbing. Start little circles, breaking up that tissue, little circles spiraling into bigger circles. If you're not getting a lot of area of high pain, that's fine, okay? You're not going to lose the benefit of doing this just because there's no pain there. Get it done, work the tissue, but I'm pretty confident most of us will find a decent bit of pain and discomfort. And just grind it into that ball, trying to keep that muscle tissue relaxed and really go for it. We're only doing these ones for a minute each, so I want you to make the most of it. And as always, rather than ending up with your leg in a strange position, just move the ball with your hand if it needs to. Oh, dearie me, it's not a nice one, is it? Good, we're going to change legs. Simple. It's not a large surface area we're going for, it's not the whole quads, just inside of that knee. We've got a lot of meat. You'll feel a lot of meaty muscle tissue in there for most of us. Just get on it, inside of the knee, on the muscle tissue, where it feels nice and dense. Have a wee circle around. Okay, so you need to scrub a wee bit just to get in there to start with. Help that muscle tissue relax. And once you start to feel the pain and discomfort, you can move the ball with your hand. See if you're moving your knee into a strange position. And then it's a simple matter of, right, that feels like where it's the worst when I push on it. Right, okay, so I'm going to pin that now. Bit of deep breathing. Increase the weight on the ball. Push it down, push it down, push it down. Once you feel that you've got a decent bit of weight on there and you're still keeping that muscle tissue relaxed, start little scrubs. Start little circles, spiraling out into bigger circles, just working that entire area. And like I say, it's not a big surface area. Work all the way to the knee joint. You'll feel the bone. We don't want to be on the bone, but you'll feel when you get there. Work that entire area just on the inside of the knee. Like I've said, we've got a lot of jammed up muscle tissue there, which if you're feeling knee pain, may well be contributing to it, or it might not be. We'll never know until we do this regular. But definitely a sweet spot. Today, what we're doing with this mobility class is working on the areas that I would say to you, if you're not sure what to do each day, do these ones. Pick a few or do them all. As always with the mobility overhaul classes, we're talking 45 minutes to an hour. It doesn't have to be that, okay? You can spend a minute, 2 minutes on each side, fire through a full body, working on all the kind of prone problem areas pretty quickly. 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes at night, anything. Anything's better than nothing, everybody. It doesn't have to be a full hour's mobility class every day of the week. But these are all your kind of areas that a lot of people will get a lot of niggles and pains from. Boom, right, we're done. So, moving on up, we've got the ball out, we might as well just keep using this ball as we move further up. Stand up, breathe, shake out. Where's everybody gone? Right. Time for some glutes, the butt cheeks, okay? Again, another familiar one for most. We've got the ball out. Ball's the best thing to use because it's going to get right deep into that muscle tissue. You can use the foam roller. It's going to cover a bigger surface area, but it ain't going to get in there the same way this thing is. So all we're doing, just sit, find the centre of your bum cheek, okay? And then start gradually, just like same again, put some weight on there. And we're just going to go, oh dearie me, sole the day. So all we're going to do is just start working that muscle tissue, looking for areas of high pain. Now, for me today, the whole area is pain, but zoning in on what feels like knotted up muscle tissue, the little sharp, horrible, piercing pain. As soon as you find it, boom, stop on the ball. Once again, what are we doing? Well, we're certainly not yawning, are we? Oh, yes, we are. Geez, oh man, get to your bed there late at night, or either that, give yourself a shake. Good. So we're going to start. We're going to start, that's it. Good. You need to get yourself outside, get some fresh air in about those chops. So we're going to start grinding this muscle tissue up. Good. looking for areas of high pain. When you find an area that makes you go, oh, we're going to stop. We're going to load it up with as much weight as we can and just start going for it, everybody. Now, you know you can get into whatever position you need to be in, okay? If you're starting to move further on outward of the glutes, we're going to get into this position onto the elbow. Feel free to get the whole reading the Sunday Times position in where you're getting that foot across. Okay, really? Really? Again? I tell you, even if I was tired, with the pain and suffering going into this blooming movement I'm doing right now, there's no way a yawn would even happen. You need to get to work. Get to work. Come on. Give yourself a shake. Let's go for it. Don't know how anybody could possibly yawn if they're feeling what I'm feeling right now, which most of you should be. So break it up. Go as high or as low as you want to, but just think butt cheek, glutes. Don't start venturing into the hammies, etc. Dearie me. We'll get a good few minutes on this. Remember, it's not a case of just don't aimlessly go around the glutes. Find that high pain, pin it, push down, and just try and grind the hell out of it. Play around with your position of your leg. Good. Let's change sides there, everybody. Change sides. Find the centre of the bum cheek and just start pushing some weight down onto it. Start again, spiralling from little circles to bigger circles until you find an area of high pain. As soon as you find one, stop, push down into it, get as much weight on that ball as you can, keep the muscle tissue relaxed and start scrubbing the hell out of it with the ball. Dense muscle group, this one. Big, thick, powerful, dense muscle group. So it's going to take some force and some weight to get it done. Oh my, oh my, oh my, yeah. So we have to really try and load up as much weight as we can on here to get an effective bit of mobility work done. Whoa, dearie me. Keep going, keep disciplined, keep your mind on the task at hand. Oh, dearie me. Boom, that'll do us. Right, ball off to the side. Grab the foam roller. We're going for the hip flexor area. I want you right in the crease of the hip here, not the quads. I want you right in the crease of the hip. So as you do your hip hinge, okay, the area that you feel starting to cave inwards, right in at that crease of, well, there's no better way to describe it as the crease of the hip. So as you're pushing those hips back, right in as you push forwards, grab a hold of that muscle tissue there. That's the area we're going for. Okay, now how I do it, I lie down, get the foam roller, lie down on that area, and you're going just below the pelvis. Okay, so we feel what we'd call the hip bones, most people. Below your pelvis, right below the hip bones, you'll hit that hip bone or just underneath it. Okay, now most people for the foam roller, it's going to take up the full area that we're working, so there's not a lot of up and down here. A little bit up and down scrubbing, but not really any need to go all the way, like if you look at me now, shouldn't really be needing to do that. Okay, most of us will find that pretty much covers the area that we're after. Now what I want you to do is load up the weight on that area. Think about trying to get that muscle tissue relaxed and then just roll side to side. How far do you go? It's pretty obvious because when you start going all the way out, you're going to hit the pelvis again. You're going to hit right outwards, hit the side of that hip joint, and I want you to go as far as you can. Stay on the muscle tissue, keep it relaxed, and then roll back, side, 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 as far as you can. Side to side, just thinking about that muscle tissue, it's relaxed, it's getting crushed into that foam roller. Adding more and more weight. Ah, here we go. Add more and more weight each time you roll side to side. And a little bit up and down scrubbing, of course. Okay, you can get a little bit in there as you go. If you really feel a certain area is absolutely awful, pin it. Pause on it, pin it, get it done. Make the most of it, everybody. Are you putting as much weight on here as you can? Yes, no? Answer should be yes. Smash that muscle tissue. Get into the areas of high pain. So our whole hip flexor area becomes pretty damn tight from sitting down, which we all do. It becomes very shortened, very relaxed in a shortened state. So a lot of us with tight hip flexors, we struggle to lock the hips out properly. So when you're smashing through with those glutes, the hip flexors are real tight. It's going to give it a hard time to really fix that locked out position, that hip snap. But also if your hip flexors are tight and you're standing relaxed, it's going to cause a lot of pulling on your pelvis. And that's where for a lot of us, see if you take a picture of yourself side on, if you've ever noticed that we would call a Donald Duck bum, okay? So your lower back's kind of sticking out when you're in a relaxed state. It's usually a key indication that we've got a bit of tightness in the hip flexors. Weak glutes as well, but that's where it all starts to play in. If your hip flexors are tight, it's tilting that pelvis, the glutes are too weak to keep it pushed forwards. So it's a good place to start, relax and change there. But then you flip the coin, and for some bizarre reason, I've said it before, people actually try to encourage that kind of posture. They think it looks good. Sticking their arse out, putting their lower back into overextension. It's not good for us, okay? It doesn't look good. You're just wreaking havoc on your body. So, always be conscious of these hip flexors. And for a lot of us, we don't do them very often. We'll stretch them out today as well to give you an idea if they are tight or not. But they play a big role in holding our pelvis in the right position. And they're big, powerful muscles. They're real big, powerful muscles. And a good way to test it, if you're not sure, you don't have to go and take a picture of yourself side on. If you stand up and relax into whatever posture you feel you're relaxed in. If you squeeze your butt and you feel that your pelvis moves forward a lot, then you need to work on that posture in your hips. Smash it, everybody. Get the job done. It ain't nice, it ain't pretty. Good. And relax there. Great work. Right. Stand up, shake out. So the last bit of foam rolling we'll be doing this morning is on the hamstrings themselves. Get the ball, sit on it, okay? Now, we're putting it just below the glutes, okay? We're putting it on the glutes, just below where your butt cheek starts to disappear, okay? We're getting into the thick, dense part of our hamstrings here. Now, we have to be on a hard surface. It doesn't work if you're on a cushioned surface because the ball will just disappear into the cushion. You can do it on the floor. There's nothing wrong with doing it on the floor. You'll just feel that it's not quite effective as effective, not effective, as effective. So it's absolutely workable on the floor. And just be cautious in this position, okay? Because we are going to be delving into the realms of our hamstrings. And we don't want to be starting to jam off our sciatic nerve, which is exposed even more when your leg's straight. So that's why I'm saying if you're doing it on the floor with a straight leg, just be cautious. Be cautious of that. Now, it's not that you're going to do yourself damage. You'll just maybe, you'll know when you hit a nerve, okay? You'll feel pins and needles. You'll feel, numbness, heat, I don't know, tingling. If you feel that, just ease off. Don't go into that area, okay? Common sense. But it's nothing to be scared of either. So all I'm doing is side to side, working. Now, these hamstrings, as you can feel, dense, powerful muscles, especially up towards the glutes. We've got a lot of depth to them, okay? We've got a lot of room to get in. We really need to be getting this ball stuck in to the depths of our hamstrings. So I'm pushing down hard. A good way to get in a wee bit deeper is to lean forward, okay? If you lean forward, you're going to open them up a wee bit. Now, the hamstrings, if you're just kind of blasé, side to side, minimal effort, you ain't getting any work done on these, okay? This muscle tissue is like steel. No, it's not, it's like titanium, okay? Big, thick, powerful rods of muscle tissue. If you're just kind of half-arsely sitting on this ball, not going for it, not putting a crazy, tremendous amount of pressure and force into this ball, you're probably doing very little. Even though it will still be uncomfortable and painful, you'll be doing very little in the way of making them better. So we really need to get stuck into it, and that's why leaning forward and back is a good way of just helping get a lot more force into the ball, but also getting a lot deeper into it. It's not nice, it's not meant to be nice. Get to work, get it done. You can straighten and bend the leg, okay? Straighten and bend the leg, bend and stretch at your peril. But I'm working down, okay? I'm working down the leg. If you find an area of high pain, you stop on that area of high pain, you get stuck into it. Working against the grain, everyone, working against the grain, side to side. And then when you find that problem area, spend some quality time on it. Trying to make it better. Good. Right, start thinking about changing sides there, everybody. Start thinking about changing sides. So changing legs. For most of us, start just at the bottom of the glutes, where the butt cheek starts to fade away into the hamstrings. Very thick area to begin with. Oh my word. Straight onto it. Oofed. And just start getting into it, okay? Really go for it. Lean forward to open them up a wee bit more, but remember what I said. It needs to be a decent amount of force, or quite a tremendous amount of force to be fair, to really make a difference here. Bloody seagulls, man. Good, let's get it done. Keep focused, keep working. Last bit of horrible work, and then we'll run to some stretching to finish. Oh dear. Really try and get in the depths. Lean forwards. Stay relaxed. Get as much weight on there as you can. Good work. God, it's well seen that it's a Navy gym, that, Callum. There's nobody doing it. There's never anybody in that gym. What a waste of money. You're probably the only one that actually goes in. Keep meaning to say that. You've got the gym to yourself every time. Good. Keep working. We're nearly there, everyone. We're nearly there. Good. Right, everybody. Boom. Put the ball. Oh, it's away now. Put the ball away. Put the foam roller away. Time to get some flexibility work added on to the areas that we've just worked. Okay. In fact, I'm going to keep my bench out. We're going to go back to where we started. Back down to the ankles. We can't do this stretch enough. You can't do this stretch enough. Get it done daily. It's the easiest stretch to do, but it's my word, it will make such a difference to your life. Okay, so here's my bench. That's your wall. Okay, now all I'm doing, I'm going to have to lean back if my ankles are tight, and I'm getting the ball, not the toes and the ball of the foot on the wall. From here, okay, I want you to start just rocking by pushing the knee forwards, off and on, push the knee forwards, off and on, just to try and loosen us off a wee bit and get us going. From there, after a few of them, push the knee forward, and that is the start of your stretch. As soon as you feel that almighty stretch on the tissue, down towards your ankle or heel area, boom, we've started this, okay? Goes without saying, you could probably do with some footwear on, or you'll find that your foot just slides. Make sure when you push into that foot, the foot shouldn't budge. That's how you know you're in a good position. If your foot slides, there's no point committing to the stretch. You need to make sure your foot is anchored. Just like any other static stretch, remember, we're not easing out, we're not farting about, it's a static hold, and then we're taking it further and further and further. So over time, with a bit of breathing and relaxation, we should be able to take this further. It will get more uncomfortable, but we'll be able to take it further, and that's the whole point. You're pushing your knee towards your toes. Don't let the knee cave inwards, especially if ankles are really tight. Taking it further, pushing the knee forward towards the wall, towards the toes. Every few seconds, just try and take it further. And if you feel you need to, you can shuffle just a wee bit closer to the wall to increase that pressure on it. But make sure if you do that, you don't start to straighten out the knee. We're doing anything we can to enhance this stretch. Make sure that that's what you're doing. Don't ease in and out. Remember, it's an argument. To win the argument, we need to hold, we need to push, we need to continue further forwards. Don't ease out, don't breathe, don't stop. Good. Taking it further, taking it further, taking it further. Stretching out the ankles at the root of the problem for a lot of people. The joint itself, the tissue around it itself. We've smashed it up, restored a bit of mobility to it. Now we're trying to stretch it out and increase that range of movement within the muscle tissue itself. Good. I want you to ease out. It's going to be uncomfortable when you ease out if you've done that properly. Okay, we've restricted the blood flow. Walk around, let the blood flow back in, shake it out, and then from there into the other leg. So remember, we're getting the ball of the foot on the wall. We need the ball of the foot on the wall. For a lot of us, we're going to have to lean back to be able to achieve that. And then it's just a simple, I would encourage you to do a good few rocks forwards and backwards. Push the knee forward as far as you can, release. Push it forward as far as you can, release. And that'll just help unjam any initial stiffness and probably allow you to get a better stretch. Okay, now remember, with that foot, push into the wall. If the foot doesn't move, you're good to go. If the foot slides, you're not good to go. Push the knee forward, forward, forward until you feel that stretch kick in. And then from there, The next couple of minutes you are taking it as far as you can, continually trying to take it further forward, making sure your knee's tracking towards your toes, not caving in. We don't want that knee caving in here, which will happen if you're that tight. You should feel like the weight is being pushed through all your toes evenly. Good. Take it further, take it further, take it further. Don't ease out. Do not ease out of it. That's the worst thing we can do here. Defeat the purpose of it all if we're easing out. Take it further, take it further, take it further. Good. And slowly, once again, ease out of that one. Walk around a wee bit, everybody. Let the blood flow. From this, we're getting into our good old classic hip flexor stretch. So you're going to need either a wall again, or a bench, or a chair, or your sofa. And you're going to need a decent bit of cushioning for the knee. So a simple stretch, but let's make sure we do it properly. Do it properly. So it's the lunging type one. We're using that raised platform so that we can get that foot raised up like so. Okay, you can do it on a wall. You can do it on your sofa. Make sure you've got a decent bit of cushioning for your knee. Do not put your knee on a hard surface. Okay. If you've got a mat that's quite thin, double it over, triple it over. We want a good bit of support for that knee. I want you to try and get the knee as close to the wall as you can. If you're using a bench like mine, you might find that you can't quite get it there because it just starts to not be very nice when it's pushing on your shin. But either way, you're not wanting to be, it defeats the purpose if we've got a raised foot and it's sitting like this at 45 degrees. So let's get that knee as close to the wall as you can. With the other leg, boom, you're bringing it through. And then I want you to simply just try and square yourself off so that you're not off to a corner kick. From here, you can lean on the leg a little bit and move your chest up. From this position to continue into the stretch, think kettlebell swing, think glute bridge. We're locking the hips out at the top. That's what we're doing now to continue. I want you to squeeze through with the butt. With this movement, you don't have gravity on your side, so you have to apply the stretch by pushing your hips through, okay? Do not let that lower back start to arch. Put the back of your palm on the lower back, put the front of your palm onto your hooft, your core, your stomach, and you should feel things sitting nice and tight. We shouldn't start to feel that backhand cave in. We don't want to start overextending that lower back. So a lot of people, when they do this, they come up like this. They're not increasing the stretch on the hip flexor. All they're doing is increasing the stress on the spine. So push forward with those hips, squeeze the butt. You have to take this one further and further and further. You can't ease out of the squeeze. We don't have gravity on our side to pull us down into the stretch, so we're applying the stretch by trying to lock these hips out. And this is where you'll feel if your hip flexors are tight, because you'll feel that you can't quite get vertical. You're maybe a way forward, like I'm showing you now. You're leaning forward a lot and you're feeling a hell of a stretch and tightness here. You'll also feel if there's a bit of tightness in the quads, you're going to feel that too. You might feel the stretch down from your knee anywhere up into the crease of the hips. So push forward, push forward, push forward. Take it further and just be conscious of your posture here. Try and get your pelvis neutral. Grab a hold of your pelvis. Grab a hold of it. It sounds daft, but grab a hold of it, a good firm hold, and just try and manually move it so that it's nice and level. And work through increasing that range of movement in the correct position. We don't want to be leaning away off to the side. We don't want to be overextending the spine. Take this one further, it's further and further. Squeeze the butt, make sure that pelvis is solid. Not necessarily the most comfortable stretch. It could be quite a stress position, this one, for a lot of people. So if you're feeling it, it's all right. Good, we're going to ease out slowly. We're going to change legs. Try and get that foot in the same position. Into the lunge position, boom. From here, just try and level yourself off first and foremost before you commit to any stretch. You can do a lazy lean on the knee, just to try and set yourself up. Don't sit and hold this position by sitting on the knee, okay? Just use that position and fairly relax before we switch the stretch on. Just get in a good position, okay? From here, I always recommend you just do what I said with your hands, just to make sure that that spine's at least at the start. And then push through as if you're at the top of a kettlebell swing and you're squeezing the hell out your butt. Or as if you're at the top of a glute bridge and you're trying to squeeze that butt and get the hips as high as you can. That's all I'm doing, that's all I'm thinking about. And again, hands onto the side of your pelvis and try and manually correct yourself. If anything, you'll find that your pelvis is tilting downwards towards the leg that we're stretching. So try and fix it, try and get it back up nice and level. Okay, imagine your pelvis is full of water, it's a big bowl, and you don't want to let any of that water spill out the side. Push through, push through, push through. Squeeze the butt, lock those hips out. Continually driving forward more, keeping that core fairly tight, not letting that lower back start to overextend. Really take it as far as you can. Like I said, for a lot of people, it can be pretty uncomfortable, but we must take it as far as we can to see an improvement. Good. Ease out of that one. Mat, glutes. Now we're going to go for the variation that allows us to hit our groin at the same time. Okay, so all we're going to be doing here is sitting on the bum. So we're sitting on the bum. This is the easier version for a lot of people. And the reason we're doing it, like I say, is we're going to be able to attack a bit of the groin at the same time. Depending on what's tightest is what you're going to feel most of. 90 degrees with this leg. All I'm doing, pin a hold of the foot. And all I want you to do is get this back leg and put it behind you as far as you can. Trying to keep a 90-degree bend roughly on that as well. Okay, so we've got 90 degrees, 90 degrees. From here, get yourself nice and tall, nice and proud. And I want you to try and get this chest towards that knee without arching your back. Okay, so if I arch my back, I can get all the way down to here, but I've not stretched out my glutes or my groin. Catch my point? Whereas if I keep the spine nice and neutral and I start going down, to get down there now, I'm stretching out the groin and the glutes. So a lot of people do this and they go, God, I'm so good. So you're not really, okay? You're not stretching out the area. We're not actually testing your flexibility and mobility if you're just bending the spine. So try and keep the chest proud. And just, this is one where we've got gravity on our side. So we're letting gravity pull us down. Focus on your breathing, keep the chest proud. And just trying to take it further and further and further. Now I would say after a minute, and this is where I'll leave it up to you, after a minute you can play around with the angle that you're going down at. You can go chest more towards the ankle, chest more away from you. You can start to twist. Okay, I want you to move around within the stretch. For the first minute, you're just trying to establish depth in your stretch, trying to go as far as you can. Now you're either going to feel this, or you'll feel it maybe in both places, but you'll feel it either in the groin, or you're going to feel it outwards towards the glutes. To really switch on the stretch to the glutes, twist away from your foot, like I'm showing you now. You can really get into the glutes if you twist away. I recommend that you get that elbow down, and that helps anchor you. And again, we're continually trying to take it further and further and further. You don't need to attack the glutes, you just work wherever there's tightness. You're trying to explore the range of movement, looking for pockets of tightness that need addressed. Never easing in and out the stretch, just constantly trying to find a way to enhance the stretch where there might be tightness present. Good. We're going to ease out of that one. We're going to change legs. And this will be the grand finale. So change legs, 90-degree bend, chuck that back leg behind you. As far as you can. The further behind you get that leg, the sooner you're going to feel the stretch on this one. So again, some people find that they're really good at this stretch, but in actual fact, they're not doing it right. This leg needs to be behind, and when that leg's behind, that's when you're going to feel the stretch starting to kick in before you even start going forwards. So start going for it, everybody. We've set ourselves up. We're just simply trying to go for chest towards the knee to start with. And once you start to feel a decent bit of stretch, not a decent bit of stretch, sorry, once you start to feel you're getting to a decent bit of depth into the stretch, start exploring it, start moving around the angles, not to ease in and out, not to make it easier, but to enhance the stretch. That's all we're trying to do here. Again, to emphasise the glutes, you can pin that elbow to the floor and twist away from the foot. You'll feel that out towards the hip itself, the glutes. Just try to stay relaxed, let everything relax. When you go more towards the heel, more towards the ankle, calf area, that's when you'll feel it more in the groin. You're trying to attack what feels like it needs work, not what feels good. Good work, everybody. Start thinking about easing out of that one. Oh, unfold yourself. Yeah, and just like that, 101 is done. Thank you very much. I'll see you for 102 on Thursday, which we're going to do a more specific session for. But thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and that was us working on some of the bigger, more common areas that need a bit more daily loving. Okay, so keep on top of them. Once again, you might realise that something is needing a bit of work done to it, and if that's the case, get it done. 2 minutes each side. Doesn't take a lot of time out of your day. Thank you very much. See you later. Any requests or anything like that, you can fire them at me now. I'm here. We good? Is that all right? Thank you very much. Much needed, I think, for everybody. It always is, though, isn't it? It's always much needed. You're very welcome. Anytime. You love it, really. That is, but that's one that when I first started doing, when I first discovered that one, it was horrific. But just by throwing it in daily, randomly, it's definitely a lot more manageable. So try and do it. That's what I'll say. If there is a lot of, if it's really that bad, that's a warning sign that it needs some loving. So get stuck into it. But no, good work.